In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 ways to boost dopamine. Why dopamine, guys? Dopamine is a neurotransmitter involved in many functions, particularly associated with motivation, pleasure, and reward. But it also plays a big role in improving your cognitive behavior, and also it is involved in the sexual function in males and females. Particularly in males, it looks like it plays a big role in achieving and improving erection quality. So, I want to start with the first way. In my opinion, you should consume Mucuna Pruriens. Mucuna Pruriens is this plant, also called the velvet bean, that contains an amino acid called L-Dopa, around 4 to 7%. L-Dopa has been used lately in order to treat Parkinson's disease and also hyperprolactinemia, because L-Dopa is actually the precursor to dopamine, and by being the precursor to dopamine, it can actually boost dopamine levels, therefore treating conditions such as low dopamine in the case of Parkinson and also hyperprolactin in the case of hyperprolactinemia. So in this study, the results observed that Mucuna Pruriens treatment were largely comparable to imipramine, which suggests that Mucuna Pruriens may produce a selective antidepressant effect. Therefore, present results suggest that intermittent administration of MPA, Mucuna Pruriens extract, as a dopamine agonist may merit clinical investigation as a novel strategy for the treatment of depression. In conclusion, the present study provides scientific evidence that hydroalcoholic extract of Mucuna Pruriens produces a specific antidepressant-like effect in acute and chronic models of depression, which may be mediated by an interaction with the dopaminergic system. So, in summary, if you have low dopamine or you want to boost your dopamine levels, my suggestion is to consume Mucuna Pruriens. Around 5 grams a day should be an ideal dosage, but experiment with yourself, because some side effects can actually include some gastrointestinal problems, because as it is a raw bean, can also cause some gastrointestinal problems. Second, guys, caffeine. As everybody knows, caffeine is an amazing way to boost dopamine, but the main 2 pathways by which caffeine acts on the brain are by first blocking the adenosine molecule to build up in our brain, particularly by binding to adenosine receptors. Because when we wake up, there is this molecule of adenosine that during the day builds up, and at night it makes us feel sleepy. As a consequence, by binding to the receptor of adenosine, by antagonizing the adenosine receptors, you will feel more alerted. And particularly in this research, we show a significant increase in D2, D3 receptors availability in the striatum with caffeine administration, which indicates that caffeine at doses consumed by humans does not increase dopamine in the striatum. Instead, we interpret our findings to indicate that caffeine's dopamine enhancing effects in the human brain are indirect and mediated by an increase in D2 and D3 receptor levels and or changes in D2, D3 receptor affinity. So, by consuming standard doses like 200 milligrams or 300 milligrams a day, you would see benefits in your alertness, and you'll probably feel less tired. So, let's say you had a bad day, you didn't sleep well. As a consequence, you can actually take some coffee and also ingest Mucuna Pruriens to boost your dopamine levels and feel more alert. My suggestion is also not to consume coffee as soon as you wake up, because you will have also, when you wake up, a spike in cortisol. So, since caffeine has a dopamine enhancing effect, but it can actually also boost some catecholamines, you don't want a big spike in cortisol associated also with a big spike in catecholamines. So I suggest to delay your coffee intake around 1 hour to 90 minutes after you wake up. Third, guys, Gingko Biloba. I didn't think that Gingko Biloba could actually boost the dopamine levels in the brain, but I found these research that said, in summary, the present data demonstrate for the first time that repeated administration of Gingko Biloba extract EGB 761 results in increased dopaminergic and noradrenergic transmission in the front cortical brain areas, which may be one of the underlying mechanisms behind the clinically observed effects of Gingko Biloba on improved cognitive function. In addition, Gingko Biloba extract, besides their reported neuroprotective effects and improved memory function, may possess mood / motivation enhancing properties in disorders associated with abnormal monoaminergic and, in particular, dopaminergic function. So what they found in this study was that Gingko Biloba, when taken only for one time, didn't have any effects on dopamine in this case. But after chronic exposure to Gingko Biloba, they saw a big increase in dopamine levels in the brain, and serotonin was not affected. That is why maybe there's the possibility that Gingko Biloba increases your cognitive capabilities by this pathway. So these are the 3 ways that you could boost dopamine. There are also other ways, but I thought that particularly the last way was very interesting because it was a plant that, as I said earlier, I didn't think was associated with dopamine improvement in the body. So I will leave a link in the description containing a free gym split. Plus, I will also leave another link if you're interested in working with me. Thanks for watching.